Back in the shop. It's Thursday. Tuesday, the gas company came and hooked up my hanging heater, propane. It's a Big Max 80,000 BTU. I was happy to finally have that heater hooked up and not having to use that loud torpedo heater and not having to put diesel in it all the time. But I'm disappointed. It is 55 degrees outside right now. It's been raining today too. It's got a lot warmer since the snow and everything. And I don't know if you could see, but it is just over 65 degrees. It is about 10 o'clock. I came out here at 8, and that thing has been running constant. If it drops to like 50 degrees outside, that thing run constant just to keep it 60 degrees in here. It's comfortable in here right now. But if it was like 30 degrees outside, that thing would be struggling to keep it 40 or 45 degrees in here. So I'm gonna have to get rid of that thing and get a bigger unit. That is at 80,000 BTU. I'm gonna try and do overkill and try and get something like 300,000 or something like that. But yeah, one of them, always something. I was hoping that thing was going to do real good. I have another heater that's another 80,000 BTU, but I don't think it's worth the trouble of hooking both of them up. I could put the other one up over here. I just don't think it's worth the trouble of putting both of them up. I think I'll just get rid of both of them, get a bigger one, and be done with it. I've actually been looking at them infrared radiant tube heaters that would go the length of the shop. That might be my best bet, is something like that, because it would heat the cars better than like this style heater, because whatever is under that radiant infrared heater will get heated. So instead of like blowing hot air around here, the cars, the metal and everything would be getting warm. So I may end up doing that kind of stuff since I have to buy one. But I've been working on the S10. I've got the rear bars painted semi-gloss, black, flat, satin, however you want to call it. Got the front bumper sanded, 400. It's ready to paint. I switched the camera around because I've been working in the booth on the S10 and show you where I'm at on it. I'm not going to be able to get a full day of work today in on the S10, so I'm just trying to get what I can done while I have some time. I have to go to a funeral at 2 o'clock. But I've got the bars coming out of the cab sprayed, and the bars that go through the bed sprayed. I'll take a tape line right on this side of the weld, and I'll actually paint the weld the color of the truck and have a nice crisp round line on it. I don't know if I showed you, I sprayed guide coat. I sprayed some base coat as a guide coat on the S10. I may have showed you. If I did, I'll cut that part out. But I got this panel loose so I can sand all around it really good. When I bolt it back up, I'm going to put seam sealer around all the edge. But I'm getting the firewall and these tubes, the inner fenders sanded, the cowl panel sanded, ready to paint. I'm going to try and paint the inside here. That way I can tape up all this and paint the outside separately. That way I don't have a lot of chances for dirt and stuff, trash and stuff blowing around from inside here to get on the outside. But I have all the parts ready to sanded, ready to paint. except for the outside of the hood. When I go to paint the engine bay, I'm going to bring the hood in here, paint the underside of it. I'm thinking about putting the cow panel in here, painting it, and maybe the trunk, or maybe the trunk too. Just get some of the small things painted and out of the way while I'm doing this. That way there's not a bunch of stuff in here when I'm painting just the outside. And then just try and be a little efficient on parts painting, because I got a bumper, mirrors, inner fender wells would still be left. So that's where we're at on that. And I got my torpedo heater in here. It is actually 185,000 BTU, but it hardly runs in here. The heat don't necessarily stay in the booth very good, especially when the fans are on, but it don't take nothing for that thing to heat this space up. It is just below 60 degrees in here. That thing can kick on within 5 minutes. It'll be 70, 75 degrees in here, and it'll kick off. It's probably going to be kicking on here in a little while, once it gets down to about 55 probably. And the little electric heater is doing great inside this area. I've brought the tailgate and the hood and stuff in here, keeping it in here like overnight and stuff. That way the metal stays nice and warm, because I'm keeping it at I believe I'm keeping it at 63. It shows that it's 66 in here. Yeah, I have the thermostat set for 63, and it's 66 in here right now. But I let that stay on overnight, and it keeps it nice. It don't, this little tight space right here, don't run very often or anything like that. So it's doing good. But definitely gonna have to do something about that. But I'll stop rambling. I'll catch you on the next one. All right, I'm in here untaping the S10. Got paint on it yesterday. Very, very pretty silver color from a BMW. Look at that shine. It's called Donington Gray. Donington Gray, I believe. Very pretty color. Real heavy metallic. Try and focus on it. It's not going to want to focus. But it is a very pretty color. I don't know what it is about this truck, but it's fought me since it's been here. It's been one thing after another on complications, but working through it. And with that being said, I have never I can't remember the last time I have ran something as bad as this S10. I have runs all sorts of places, and I'm not one of these guys that will tell you that I never run anything. It happens, but I never run anything this bad. I mean, I may get a run here and there on something small, or sometimes kind of big, but maybe just 1, 2. But this thing wanted to run everywhere, and I don't understand why. And before I go to show you where the runs are at, and you get in the comments and say, oh, you should have sprayed this whole panel in one go instead of starting and stopping. I know this ain't my first rodeo. I've always done it this way. In certain situations, I'll go the full panel, and then other situations like this here, I would normally go from this end to just a little bit and past the fender, and then I'll do the rest of the fender instead of spraying the whole thing. Listen, I know what I need to do to not run something when I do that. But in this situation on this truck, I don't know if it was the temperature in here or what, which it's been, I've had it a nice comfortable temperature around 65, 68 in here the whole time I was painting. And that's really good for as cold as it is outside. Last year, this time of year when it was real cold, I was struggling to heat the booth. I'm actually doing better this year on keeping it in a good temperature. But instead of rambling anymore, I'm gonna walk around and show you just how bad I run this thing. First area I guess I'll show you is right in here, which I couldn't have run it in any worse areas that I have. But got a nice sag right through there. And what had happened is I was coming, and where I blended the two, I ended the two, I guess you could say, patterns of when I sprayed the clear. Like I said, I started at that end, I come down and just went down the door area, and then I come up to the front of the fender and worked it back in. Normally don't have no problems with that at all, but on both fenders, which actually it's got a sag right there too. Both fenders, same area, did the same thing. Sag right through here, which I think I can get it out. It's not going to be the easiest, but I think you can kind of see that metallic real good right there. Look at that. But I think I can get it out. I actually wanted to run right here where I come down the door post and then across. Got a little heavy right in here, and stirred a little sag right there. Look at this. That's gonna be a rough one to get out. I might end up having to respray this rocker. I mean, it just wanted to drip off there. Look at that. All the way across the bottom of the rocker. Now, like I said, I may get a run here and there, but this is ridiculous. On the other side, oh yeah, engine bay. This was even with a different clear. Run it right there, right up there, which I think I can sand that out pretty easy, flat put place. And that was just from when I sprayed the clear, ended right under this this tube, and then got on the inside here and sprayed it. Now that's not too big a deal. I probably would have run that right there, no matter the situation. There's a good chance that I would have ran it right there, but these other places, this like I say, it didn't run like it did over there in the corner, but I still got to run the complete rocker panel there. Wanted to run, and that was how I sprayed this. I sprayed the outside of the truck first, then I opened the doors and did the jams. Now look, it's wanting to fall down this pillar, this jam, and puddle up down here in the bottom. I mean, it just didn't seem like it wanted to hang at all, and I don't understand why. That's a good one, ain't it? Look at that shit. Look at it. Just look at it. Hell far. I don't know what to say. And god darn. Both sides. Look at this shit. Hell far. Yeah. So I got a lot of cutting on runs. I don't know if I can get them all out. I'm gonna try, because I really don't want to do any spot painting on this thing because of the way this color is. It flops so much and so heavy and metallic. I don't want to do any spotting on it. And man, it looks so good. The color is sharp. I like it a lot. But enough on my mistakes. They're coming to put the windshield in today. While the windshield's out, I got some of this paint that they brushed on the roll cage, and I'm going to touch up this stuff that they couldn't get because the windshield was in. There's a little spot up in there, but I'm going to touch up that stuff real quick. I got a can of the paint to do the touch up. I'll show you what it is. It's a Rust-Oleum hammered black. I'm just gonna brush it on. Same with the bed. They must have brushed this on when the bed was on. So when I took it off, you can see a bunch of places that they couldn't get to. So since I have the bed off, I'm going to cover all that up real good and take care of that for them. And then I'll stick the bed back on, put the wheels and tires back on, stick it in the other garage, and let this stuff cure out a little bit before I go to cutting and buffing my screw ups, because there's multiple. But get this out of the booth. That way I can spray the parts that's still left, because they still got to do the hood, tailgate, front bumper, inner fender wells, and mirrors, and radiator support. Got to do that also. But sounds like I got a lot of work to do, so I'm going to get off here and do it. And we're back in the paint booth. I didn't record anything yesterday. Pretty busy getting the rest of the parts in the booth to paint for the S10. I have everything painted except for the top of the hood. I'm gonna get this stuff out of the booth, sand the top of the hood, get it painted today. I have an insurance job that came in, a Mercedes, just a few dents in the hood and an A-pillar of it that I got to get done. They had the windshield replaced, so when the Action came out and put the new windshield in the S10, I had them replace the windshield in the Mercedes at the same time, so got that out of the way. But I got a few dents to fix in it. It's outside. But what I'm gonna do now is I'll walk around and show you what I painted yesterday for the S10. Then get this stuff all out of the booth, sand the hood, paint the hood, work on the Mercedes. Tomorrow, it'll probably be run city. The runs on the S10 that I showed you, I'll be trying to get them out. By tomorrow, it should be dry enough to where the runs won't still be soft in the center. Gotta kind of watch that. If it was summertime, the next day it'd probably be fine. Maybe the day after. In the winter time, it's struggling to keep heat and everything on it. It's going to take a little bit longer. So hopefully it's dry enough I can start getting them runs out, because they're going to come get this S10 this Sunday, and it is Wednesday. So I got a little bit of time to do that, but I just caused myself a lot more work putting them runs in. But it is what it is. So I'm going to put the phone down and get to work. Actually, I said I was going to show you the parts that I painted before I got to work. So here is the inner fender wells. Hung them up, painted both sides at the same time, which you'll mainly only see this top side. in the engine bay. Took the faces out of the mirrors so I could get the color back in the back. Mirrors turned out really nice. I have a bad problem about getting a sag down here at the, or a run down here at the bottom of the mirrors. But I guess I was so conscious of it now that I run the S10 so bad, I ended up not running the mirrors. So that's a good deal. Tailgate, got it untaped. Turned out pretty slick. Just got a little bit of trash in it. Painted the jams, of course. Bottom side of it. Front bumper turned out amazing. It looks really slick. I think it'll look pretty good with the black buttons in it. I'm going to put this trim piece up here to see if he's going to want to spray it if he's going to want it black or leave it aluminum stainless look to it, because these buttons are going to be black. I don't know, his wheels are polished. The trim ring may look better polished, so I'll hold it up, see what he thinks. Got the, I'm not real sure what these little bars are for that go with the core support, radiator support, but sprayed them. And I can't believe that I sprayed all of these little tubes and stuff like that, which there may be a run somewhere on it, but I haven't seen one. But it turned out really nice. I really like this color. I mean, the flop that it has in the light and everything, it just makes it look really, really nice. A lot of flake. A little aggravating to spray because you're basically just all spraying just flake instead of any color, so it's pretty transparent. Oh, that's another thing. I used every bit of the paint that I had left on these parts right here, so I don't have enough paint for the hood, but they're supposed to be bringing me some today. I used a whole gallon of paint on the truck and these parts and what you see here. The grill, they wanted it taped right around that little body line seam. It turned out real nice too. That should give it a good look. But that's the parts. They're all sprayed. I'm gonna get them out of here and get the hood done. So I got all the parts out of the booth. Just got the hood sanded. And I got the tailgate back in here. I don't know if I'll be able to pick it up on the phone, but I noticed when I went to move it that, oh yeah, you can see it. You see these sand scratches here? I sanded this thing with 320 first. When it was primered, I sanded it with 320, then 400, and I didn't go back over it with 600 like I normally do. And I don't know if that is the reason, or I didn't get all the 320 scratches out. But one reason that I like to finish sand with 600 on the DA, just run over everything, is this reason. And I don't know if this is 320 or 400, but the it seems like it's only in the top edge here and the bottom edges down here. Like out in the center, you don't see the sand scratches. So it's making me think it was 320, and then where I sanded everything with 400, I didn't sand it good enough on the corners and edges with 400 to get these scratches out. And what it does is the metallic stands in these scratches, I think, and makes it to where you can still see them. It's real faint, and then other times it's real strong or real noticeable. There's a hair too. But I noticed that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over, you can see it right through here. Them are DA scratches there for sure. I think it's 320, but other than that, you know, the tailgate looks slick as can be. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 600 on the DA. I got clear on this. It's not like it's rough. It's in the base coat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run over the tailgate with 600. It don't have to be nothing special. I don't want to go down into the base coat or anything like that. And then since I got some more paint and I'm painting the top of the hood, I'm going to paint the tailgate again so them scratches aren't going to be in the tailgate, because I don't want it to be like that. That's shitty work. He also wants the trim ring that goes on the front bumper to be painted the same color as the truck. So I sanded it, and I'm going to be painting it with these. So this should be the last things I paint. I just wanted to share with you on that before I just did it and just didn't say anything to you, because I don't like finish sanding with 320. That's why I do 400, because I've seen that before. And that's one reason why I go over it with 600, is because I don't want to even see that showing 400 scratches, which I don't think it will, especially if I have a heavy bodied sealer over this. It probably wouldn't have done anything. But I've took, instead of spraying sealer over this, since everything was all the same primer color, I took a base coat. I mixed a bunch of, not a bunch, I mixed about a quart up of whites and grays that I had left over that was extra paint. I mixed it up and got a color about like that right there. It's close to the gray that I already have. I mixed all them together and just basically acted as a sealer to help with the sand scratches, but apparently it didn't do a good enough job. You get a heavy bodied sealer, it's kind of like primer, and this is still base coat, so it's super thin. But I'm going to stop rambling and sand this tailgate, get everything ready to spray, and spray it.